everybody, it's back to normal this week, right? First full trading week, first full week for many people of 2013. Thanks for joining us. We'll be here Monday through Friday. I'm Lauren Simonetti, and we're going to kick things off with Jim Reese, the CEO of a very interesting company called TigerSwan, and you are joining us via Skype from North Carolina. Hey, Jim. Good morning.
Good morning, Laura. How are you? Good
I'm
morning.
very good. So what is TigerSwan for people who don't know?
Sure. TigerSwan is an international vulnerability management and global stability company.
In English?
In English, most people would look at us as a security company, but what we provide, anything from cyber to personal security to international travelers security to construction in the Middle East.
Right.
We do a plethora of things that really help companies and corporations have a stable operating environment throughout the world.
Yeah, lots of multinational corporations find themselves doing business, sending workers to areas that might be a little bit vulnerable in the world, and that's where you and your expertise comes in and makes those workers feel more secure, correct?
Absolutely.
And how does your background, you have a great story, how does your background prepare you to do that?
Well, I retired in 2007 as operator officer from the military Delta Force, and also in Iraq, the interagency task force that really worked all of Iraq and Afghanistan that you're reading about in the news now and in the movies. I was a key leader in those organizations for several years. I knew when I retired in 2007 that what we learned after 9/11, really the world has changed. And as now we have grown into a business and our business acumen has grown exponentially over the years, we've taken those lessons learned and those tactics, techniques, and procedures that we did in our interagency task force, taking all the elements of our government's powers of national power and just put them towards a business plan. They really seem to be working for us.
So tell me a little bit about your growth, when you started, with how many employees, how big you are now, what the training is like.
Sure. Well, we started, like I said, January of 2007 when we really kicked off. We started out of my partner's kitchen in a little town called Fuquay Arena, which is just north of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And we started with 2, we went to 3, and now we're up to over 300 employees worldwide and strong points in 17 different countries with additional offices in 34 different countries. It's great. It's been a great growth. It's been very exciting. We've learned a lot over the last 6 years, and we continue to grow, make sure we're staying compliant, legal, and really for a lot of businesses, we like to stay very culturally attuned where we are traveling around the world and working.
And how do you link up with the businesses? Is there any stories or companies that you can share with us?
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of work for a lot of companies in the manufacturing.
Okay.
We've got a couple oil and gas. We're working for several computer companies that make computers and sell them internationally. And for our Guardian Angel line,
yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, so Guardian Angel is our international travel membership. You get a lot of senior executives throughout the world who travel internationally, and they are used to having some type of service that provides security for them when they travel in medium to high risk areas of the world or really emerging markets. What we looked at is, hey, the executives are used to this, but today, as a CEO myself, and when I talk to CEOs and other senior C-suite individuals, they are more concerned about their business development people. Their middle managers who are out there closing deals and going to places like Libya, Nigeria, Egypt, Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, you name it. And, they have to go back and look at their insurances. Are they covered? Are they doing the right thing? Are they taking care of their people, which is very critical. And that's what Guardian Angel does for us. It's a 1-year membership. And what the membership does is it allows corporations to bring on their members in the team. They get dual-use beacons so we can track them 24/7 wherever they are in the world. We can track them personally as well as their personal assets, their laptops, their phones. So, like we had a client that was in a merger and acquisition field who was in a foreign country and unfortunately got mugged. He did not have any personal security with him. He was just using our monitoring service. We monitored him. He was okay. We were able to get him to a safe cafe. We had one of our folks in country get to him in about 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
But the real key thing, and he had his laptop and his passport stolen. We were able to get him to the U.S. Embassy, get the passport issue squared away. But the key factor is because we tracked his computer, 3 days later after that computer was taken, we found it and we were able to recover it through liaison with the local law enforcement, and just a great win.
What country was that?
Russia. That happened in Russia.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we were just talking, a couple friends and myself the other day, about incidents in Russia, so that's funny that you said that one. And how much, more or less, do you charge for your different services?
Well, I would tell you, for a year membership for one individual, it works out to less than $10 a day. And that's pretty critical to have full-time 24/7 monitoring, the state-of-the-art beacons that we use, what we call remote kill on your computers, laptops, or your personal assets. And then we also provide it's a concierge advice service. So people call into our operations center 24/7. All their information is stored on NIST compliant systems. So we really make sure we're holding all their key information, and it really becomes a high-end concierge to give them advice and let them know where they're traveling, and we'll let them know that. But the next thing they can do, though, is that they go, hey, I'm going to Sao Paulo, Brazil. I'd like to have a security driver and vehicle. Maybe it might be an armored vehicle or a non-armored vehicle. And we set that up for them also, and we provide that service also.
Now, this stuff can't be that easy for you to set up, or is it?
Well, it's really, people sometimes, it frustrates me. People think it's like knuckle draggers. And this is really PhD level work. Traveling to some of these countries are not, it's difficult. And we try to drive people away from the standard where you see security details from the Hollywood stars and these big muscle thug looking folks. We drive people into what we call a discrete or a reduced signature profile. We really try to drive them away from armored vehicles, because armored vehicles it's a high profile, puts you in the spotlight. And we provide that type of expertise and that advice. Now, if a client wants to have an armored vehicle, absolutely, we have those ready to go. And there are some places, even by law, that if you're going in to do security operations, you must have an armored vehicle. So we have those available if need be. But it's not easy work.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like it. In fact, it sounds very honorable as well. Are you all veterans in this operation in your business, military veterans?
No, we're about 50-50.
Okay.
I mean, from the operational side, most of us are veterans of both special operations or elite law enforcement. But we found through the years it's great to have a good corporate spread. So we've got folks, I've got a CFO who worked for Marriott for years. And what they do is they really help us understand and make sure we're capturing the culture of the corporate America and international corporate aspects to make sure, we don't show too heavy a military or law enforcement presence.
Right, that makes sense. And finally, Jim, TigerSwan, the name of your company, does that have any meaning?
It does. If you think about it, the tiger and the swan represent the full spectrum of the animal kingdom.
Okay.
When we came out of Afghanistan, after our first year there, we were prepping to go back again. We went out to Colorado. We're up in the mountains prepping to go back into Afghanistan. And we found ourselves in an area called the Swan Valley, across from a little town called Tiger, Colorado. And it kind of just hit a really cool name. And it sits inside the Oriental yin and yang to represent the full spectrum of operations we can do.
Jim Reese, thank you so much for your story and, of course, for your service. And lots of luck. Hopefully in the next 6 years you can increase that 300 to 1,500 if you follow that same growth plan. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day there in North Carolina.
Thanks, Lauren. Have a great day.